Welcome to my final Better Call Saul Season 4 episode review video. Of course, this being the Season 4 finale. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am every watching, you're watching Better Call Saul, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through one time. In fact, I actually did review videos of Better Call Saul Season 6 when it was actually airing. So if you've already seen all the episodes like me and you want to jump ahead a little bit, you can click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. That will be the end screen where you can click on that link, the playlist to my Better Call Saul Season 6 content. And of course, if you're a Breaking Bad fan, which it should be, I reviewed every single episode of Breaking Bad on this channel. I ranked all the characters, I ranked all the seasons, and I ranked my favorite episodes. So if you want to check out my Breaking Bad content, click right here with about 20 seconds left to go to the video. That will be my Breaking Bad review playlist, which will include the ranking videos as well. Have fun with that, and make sure you leave me lots of comments with your thoughts. But anyway, I wanted to watch this show again, Better Call Saul, to let things resonate a bit, because I don't remember every little single thing as I was binging this show to get caught up with the new episodes of Season 6. So, only watching 1 to 3 episodes a week at this point. But with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul Season 4, Episode 10, the Season 4 finale. The title of this episode is called Winner. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start off with a flashback. Jimmy appears with a group of soon-to-be lawyers before a bar committee. Each candidate is endorsed by an attorney, and Chuck vouches for his brother Jimmy. Kim and Ernesto, we haven't seen Ernesto for a while, or Ernie, proudly watch the endorsement. That night, a party is held at a karaoke bar celebrating Jimmy's new career, while Ernie, performs. Jimmy convinces Chuck to come on stage and sing with him as the McGills sing a duet of ABBA's The Winner Takes It All. Chuck takes the microphone and steals the show while Jimmy sits in the background. Later, the two drunk brothers stumble into Jimmy's apartment, where Jimmy states his ambitions of joining HHM as a fellow partner to Chuck. As the two brothers settle into bed and fall asleep, they finish singing the ABBA song. Back to our current time, Mike rounds up his men and gives them orders to split up to locate Werner. He tells Sam and another man to search the highway in the north and the south, Arthur and Nick to investigate the train and bus stations, and Andre to stay and keep the remaining Germans on lockdown. As his men leave, Mike phones a travel wire agency agent and cons them into divulging which location Werner's wife wired him money. He drives off to the travel wire office. Meanwhile, to mark the 1-year anniversary of Chuck's death, Jimmy stands at Chuck's grave, burying flowers and making a show of seemingly grieving for his brother. Other mourners show up and see him, assuming his grief is sincere. This is revealed to be part of a scheme by Kim to aid Jimmy in reinstating his law license by making him appear to be more sympathetic towards Chuck than he did before his suspension was extended. Jimmy stands at the grave throughout the day, occasionally taking breaks between visitors so that Kim can supply him with food. Lalo Salamanca is on a hilltop overlooking Gus's chicken farm. He closely watches the goings-on through binoculars and jots down detailed notes. Lalo notices Gus and 5 of his men piling into their cars as they drive off to find Werner. Realizing that something is up, he packs up his equipment and sets off to follow him. Mike reaches the travel wire office and makes a story to the clerk, Fred, that Werner is his brother-in-law who is lost and suffers from dementia and diabetes. Accepting Mike's story, Fred shows him the security footage from Werner's visit. Victor appears outside and summons Mike to his Cadillac to meet up with displeased Gus Fring. Gus updates Mike that his wife, Margarita, is on a flight that will arrive in 9 hours. Realizing that Gus intends to kill both Werner and his wife, Mike takes responsibility for Werner's actions and assures him that there is a way he can mitigate the situation before the wife arrives. Returning to the Travel Wire office, Mike contacts one of his men and has a transcript of Werner's phone call read back to him. Realizing that Werner mentioned going to a spa like Baden, Mike collects some travel brochures from the rack and leaves. And outside, Lalo Salamanca watches Mike drive off and follows him. Howard Hamlin hosts the dedication of the University of New Mexico's new library, which has been named in honor of Chuck. Jimmy, Kim, and Rich Swikert all attend. Howard is interviewed by Joy's film crew and says that HHM is making a comeback after a tough year, and that the library will be Chuck's lasting legacy. Kim and Joy's crew spread a rumor about the party that Jimmy anonymously donated the money to build the library. Outside, Kim coaches Jimmy on how to continue the charade. As he drives to Werner's location, Mike notices Lalo Salamanca tailing him. Mike pulls into a parking lot and collects a ticket from the gate. Lalo follows him while parked. Mike makes a flat sandwich of 2 foil gum wrappers stuck together with chewed gum. Then another motorist approaches the tolling gate. Mike cuts him off, drives to the gate himself, and feeds the ticket machine with gum wrapper, jamming it. Mike drives away while Lalo Salamanca is stuck behind the motorist at the gate. Desperate to catch up, Lalo Salamanca rear-ends the motorist and plows both cars through the gate. However, Lalo angrily realizes that Mike is giving him the slip. Jimmy, having been named as a member of HHM's scholarship committee in Chuck's will, joins Howard in attending a vote on which applicants will receive the scholarship. Jimmy emerges as the lone vote for Christy Esposito, who the other board members have dismissed because of her prior record as a shoplifter. Reminded of how Chuck looked down on him over his own criminal past, Jimmy catches up with Christy outside of HHM building and gives her a life lesson, since the legal community will always treat her with disdain no matter how hard she tries to make up for her past. She will have to cut corners and break the rules when necessary if she wants to succeed. In the HHM parking garage, Jimmy breaks down and cries when his Suzuki won't start, finally letting the emotions of his brother's death take effect. Lalo Salamanca returns to the Travel Wire office and tries to talk to Fred into divulging the details of Mike's visit. Fred proves to be more suspicious of Lalo than he was of Mike and refuses Lalo's demands. When Fred takes a phone call, Lalo seems to have left the office. Fred then notices an out-of-place ceiling tile in the lobby just as Lalo Salamanca crashes through the ceiling on the safe side of the glass security wall, wielding a gun. Lalo looks through the security footage himself while Fred's body lies on the floor nearby. I don't know why my nose keeps itching, just to give you a heads up here. I got a tickle right here and right here. Anyway, seeing Mike collecting the travel brochures, Lalo pieces together where he is heading. Meanwhile, Werner is lounging next to a pool at the hotel. When he gets a page, he goes to the house phone and ends up talking to Lalo Salamanca, posing as one of Gus Fring's men. Werner unwittingly gives away some details of the secret excavation to Lalo before Mike manages to reach the hotel and cut the phone call short. Lalo Salamanca taunts Mike before the latter hangs up the phone. At Kim's apartment, she and Jimmy go over the strategy for his appeal hearing the following day. Jimmy suggests that he recite the letter from Chuck's will during the hearing. Meanwhile, Mike drives Werner to a remote location and phones Gus, mentioning that the phone call Werner was making to Lalo. Gus is weary when he realizes Lalo knows what he's up to with the lab. Mike tries one final time to persuade Gus to spare Werner's life, but he is resolute. Werner tries to talk his way out of the situation, but Mike tells him that no matter what he says or does, no one will trust him again. Realizing what is about to happen, Werner takes Mike's offer of a cell phone and contacts his wife, ordering her to turn around and head back to Germany. After ensuring that she will be spared, Werner walks away, staring aimlessly into the night sky. Mike executes him with a bullet to the back of the head. I don't know if that guy had to die. I mean, yeah, he knew a lot of stuff, and he was getting homesick. He wanted to see his wife, and the project was taking too long. The next day, Gus and Gail Bedecker visit the excavation underneath the laundromat. Gail is excited at the prospect of cooking in what will become a meth super lab, but Gus stresses that he won't begin work until the lab is complete. After Gail leaves, he walks into Mike, who has arrived to inform Gus of Werner's death. Jimmy and Kim arrive at the courthouse, where Jimmy is about to deliver his appeal before the bar committee. Outside the courtroom, Kim gives Jimmy some final words of encouragement, assuring him that she is still on his side. Sensing that the committee is inclined to rule against him, Jimmy flips the script and stops reading from Chuck's letter, instead improvising a speech about how Chuck influenced him to become a lawyer, but constantly withheld his approval. Jimmy promises to try to be a better person and do everything in my power to be worthy of the name McGill. If the committee votes to reinstate his law license, Jimmy's speech moves Kim and a couple of the committee members to tears. Outside the courtroom, Jimmy and Kim celebrate his imminent reinstatement. However, Kim's joy turns into confusion and horror as Jimmy reveals that his entire speech was a calculated performance meant to sway the suckers on the committee. He never meant one word of his comments about Chuck. Kim is further stunned when Jimmy reveals that he no longer plans to practice law under his own name, saying that he wants to execute a doing business as a clerk leads Jimmy into an office to sign some paperwork. Kim asks him what's going on, and Jimmy turns back and replies, "Saul Goodman." Kim is left behind in silence. And that's what ends this episode and season 4 of Better Call Saul. So I must admit, watching this episode as my freaking nose keeps itching, I was dozing off a couple times. Maybe it was because I was watching it later at night, but not so late. But some people give this like a 9.5, 9.7. I'll give it an 8.9 out of 10. And my character of the episode is going to be Mike. Special rest in peace to Werner. He didn't really have much time on the show, but he was a good character, and I don't think he deserved to die because of what happened. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, or El Camino, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate it? Who would be your character of the episode? And anything else that you want to add. Remember to click right here for my Better Call Saul Season 6 videos. If you want to jump ahead of it and see every episode, my Breaking Bad playlist right there. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, share your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know where you're going to see on JDevTV.